Welcome to my job tour video. I intern at the Harris Waterfront Convention Center in Atlantic City. The Convention Center at Harris is the largest meeting space in the Northeast region. There are 2 floors and the space can easily be manipulated depending on what the client wants. It is a newer facility that has opened in May 2015. The space is mostly used for business conventions and meetings. To introduce convention services, these are some of the roles that I shadow and are important in the meeting planning process. The Director of Catering Convention Services oversees everything that everyone else does in the office and heads large projects. Next is the Vice President of Meeting Operations. Their job is to assist the director in anything that they need, and the two work hand in hand often. The employees I work closest with are the Catering and Convention Service Managers. There are 3 of them who do all the planning for the conventions. They are in constant contact with their clients, making sure that everything they're planning is exactly what the client wants. Next is the Assistant Banquet Managers, who are the eyes and ears during the convention and make sure everything is executed perfectly. Their tasks include scheduling the servers, making sure the room is set up correctly and the food is perfect. Lastly is the Banquet Coordinator. Their tasks revolve around ensuring that banquet event orders are filed and numbered correctly, building banquet event orders for in-house and special events, and submitting transportation and diamond cards for clients. I have a cubicle with a computer and large desk. My cubicle is next to the Catering and Convention Service Managers' offices, which makes it easy for me to communicate with them because I work closest to them. This is where I spend most of my time. The top 2 softwares that the Convention Center uses is Delphi and Meeting Matrix. Delphi is used to schedule conferences and make banquet event orders. You have the ability to look at all the events booked in Delphi through the availability feature. If there is a scheduling and space issue, I go here to see what else is booked. The bulk of what I do is on Delphi with the banquet event orders, or better known as BEOs. The BEOs are used to understand when each event is happening during the conference and what the resources are required for each event. What you see on the screen now is a lineup of the events for the conference, what time and where they are each located. Next is what it looks like clicking on a specific event. It shows up the resources that you can add onto it. In this area, you would also add any additional charges, setup notes, and menu requirements. For menu requirements, you can add each food item that you want, and it will be listed in the menu feature like this. Here, you list the price and add the quantity of the item. To ensure that all the prices are correct and updated, I have to check the Harris Resort Catering menu. It tells me how much each food and beverage item costs. It includes a short description about the food item, so it is easy for the clients to choose what they want. This is what a finished BEO looks like when printed out. As you see on the left, it lists out the menu very simply and the cost of each item. On the right column, you see what the setup requirements are so the housemen know what is expected of them. On the top of the BEO, you can see the banquet manager who is in charge of this conference. This is useful if someone were to have questions about the BEO, they would know exactly who to direct it to. The next step after finishing the BEOs, I usually have to make the floor diagram so that everyone knows what the room is expected to look like. The diagram that you see now is what is given to the client so they can see the possibilities on how they can break the room up. The first floor is called the Wildwood floor and the second floor is called Avalon. As there are almost no difference between the 2 floors, the one difference is the ceiling size. Avalon is a few feet shorter. Take a closer look. Where you see all the dotted lines is where the room can be split if desired. The large squares in the middle are usually used for general sessions, large meeting spaces, food areas, and exhibits. The smaller spaces on the side, that are numbered 1 through 26, are usually broken down into breakout rooms, which can be used for smaller classrooms and training spaces. Pictured here is the pre-function space around the perimeter, and it's a walking space from room to room, but is usually used for registration exhibits or meal space. This is our registration desk. Additionally, there are screens like these in the pre-function space, so people know where events are located and also what else is going on in the building. This is an example of what a finished floor plan looks like. For large seating spaces, we use 3 main seating styles: theater, classroom, and rounds. On the side of the screen in Meeting Matrix are these small boxes that allow you to create and manipulate the floor plan so that it looks exactly what you want it to look like. Here is the food area for this specific conference. This is an example of the setup of rounds and food tables on the side. Next is classroom style, set up with a long table and chairs. There's usually a podium and screens in the front of the room. This is an example of exhibit setup, used mostly for trade shows and exhibits. On occasions, I have been told to make signs for food and events. Signage can help the flow of people through an event, and it is also important for food to be signed as some people may have dietary restrictions and allergies. Overall, I have learned so much at this internship so far, and I'm extremely excited to see what else is in store for me for the remainder of the semester.